Well, on tonight's Which Whiskey Wednesday, I've got two copper and casks, a double oak, and a cigar blend. If you could only have one, which one would you choose? Okay, tonight it's double the copper, double the cask. Copper and cask. We've got a cigar blend bourbon whiskey and a double oak. And rather, normally on Which Whiskey Wednesday, we try to pick two similar bourbons from usually two different makers, two different producers. And we tell you which one we like best, which one we're recommending over the other. Well, tonight we have two dissimilar bourbons, a cigar blend versus a double oak. I don't imagine they're going to taste anything alike, but they are from the same producer, Copper and Cask. Copper and Cask, what I like about them, they're pretty transparent. This is a small batch series single blend bourbon whiskey finished in cognac, sherry, port, and Armagnac casks, aged 7 years. And on the back, they tell you distilled in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Lynchburg's a different bourbon altogether, isn't it? Bottled October 2024, 7 years. It says a cigar blend. So we know this is a sourced bourbon, probably from MGP, most likely. I have heard fairly good things. I mean, it is an MGP bourbon, so, not everyone likes MGP. But at $69 for either of the bottles, I thought they were an excellent buy. So tonight's premise is if you can only afford one and you've got a copper and cask at your local bottle shop, which one should you try? Which one should you buy if you're not buying both? Well, I have a bourbon channel, so I bought both. But you're probably on a budget. So first we're going to try this cigar blend. Let me hit this button here so we don't go too long. And the color actually looks pretty similar between the two bottles, which I thought was interesting. I tend to like Armagnac finished bourbons better than cognac finished. I like cigar blend bourbons better than either one of those. So I'm hoping this is good because cigar blend bourbons can be very expensive. If you ever chase the Joseph Magnus, that's the cheapest I've ever found. It was like $205, and that was around Christmas time. But a lot of times it's closer to $300, $69. Oh yeah. I get some of that cognac Armagnac in the aroma. I was kind of sniffing it earlier off camera. I'm going like, yeah, that kind of smells like a cigar blend. But a lot of the cigar blends I have, like the short barrel, the aroma is a lot stronger. I don't know if they're being finished longer than the copper and cask. I don't know that it actually tells you how long they finish. It doesn't. Maybe they do on their website, but I don't see where it says how long that it's finished for the cigar finish. But I like the combination it's finished in. So let's go to the palate. Cheers. That's pretty good. I get a little bit of ethanol. I mean, I just opened it up. A little bit of ethanol flavor there. Just very small. But I get spice right on the front end there. A little bit of pepper. A little black pepper. The sweetness you'd expect from a cigar blend. I'm not blown away by it, but it's pretty good too. For $69, I think it's pretty good. Let's try another sip. I think I'd pick up the Armagnac more than the cognac. I like Armagnac, and maybe I'm just hoping. But Armagnac, cognac, you definitely get some bourbon. It's not overwhelming, which is good. You definitely have some bourbon notes there. Brown sugar, molasses, vanilla, cinnamon, baking spices. The cognac and the Armagnac and maybe the sherry in there, the mixture, that's pretty prevalent. I didn't really pick up the port, which is good because I'm not a fan of port wine and bourbon. I only like one bourbon with a port finish, and that's the Isaac Bowman. I take that back. I think there's a no. I think that was a Pinot Noir. I never can pronounce that right. Finished bourbon, not a port. The only port that I can remember liking was the Isaac Bowman, and I'm not buying a backup of it, and I'm not buying it when I get rid of it, so I don't like it that much. Let's take another sip. That's pretty good. I would tell you that it's somewhere between, what was that? I'm looking for it on the shelf there, and I probably can't find it. Good Times? Yeah, I think it was called Good Times. That I got in Tennessee. It was a cigar blend. It's better than the Good Times cigar blend. Not as good as the short barrel, quite not even close to the short barrel cigar blend. And of course, Joseph Magnus is my favorite. At least it is on a blind. This is nowhere close to Joseph Magnus. But the Good Times cigar blend was a $100 bottle. So this is a big improvement over the Good Times. So let's put that off to the side and let's see if this double oak is any better. Now this one's age stated at 8 years, small batch series, again, double oak, bourbon whiskey, finished in new oak and used whiskey casks. Again, Lawrenceburg, Indiana, bottle 2024, age 8 years, secondary oak casks, it says. And it is, the other one said what it was on the proof on the back. Here it is, 119.2. And this one is 119.4. So both cask strength. That's good. Non-chill filtered. This doesn't say anything about being non-chill filtered. All right, well, we'll see how this fares up. I've already got a glass poured here. So let's get into this double oaked. Now you can I think you can pick up the char in this one, and that was the first thing I smelled was so you got the char of that second barrel permeating through the bourbon. And not very sweet, actually. Well, the cognac and Armagnac made the aroma sweet on that one. Not really getting any sweetness on this. And no fruit that I can pick up. Some bourbon notes there, but mostly that char, that kind of toasted bourbon is what I pick up. Not a lot else. Cheers. Yeah, you definitely pick up that a double oak flavor, and more savory than sweet, but the first taste on that was pretty darn good. Now, you can get double oaks, unlike the cigar blends that always seem to run you around $100. I can get a lot of double oak bourbons in the $70 range, which is what this was, although it did come in that fancy box, didn't it? Let's take another sip. That's going to be tough. That's got some good toasted char double oak flavor to it. Second sip, I got a little more sweetness out of it. Really no fruit to speak of. Molasses, brown sugar, sweetness, typical bourbon sweetness, but that extra char, that extra toastiness that comes with a double oaked. Now we're going to have to go side by side. Well, I have to give the Cigar Blend the win on the aroma. The Cigar Blend smells a lot better. This just smells like burnt leaves. I'm being harsh. I just don't get a lot, except for that char. I'm not really getting a lot out of this one. At least this one, I'm getting the finish. So which one do I like better? It's got a little nuttiness to it, but it is MGP, right? And a 7-year versus an 8-year. 8-year seems to be the magic point for me with a lot of bourbons. It gets to 8-year, it's like, wow. It just like goes from a pumpkin to a chariot. You older generation don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, that's tough. That is tough. The Cigar Blend's got the sweetness, and that's because of the finish, I think. Rubbing off on it, literally. I mean, they're about the same proof. And now that I've tasted, I no longer pick up the proof out of the Cigar Blend. Well, I have a winner. And tonight, could I have a drum roll, please? I'm not as good as Jason C. Sorry. Been a long time since I've been drumming. Tonight's winner is going to be the Cigar Blend. I think, and a couple things. Value at $69. I think it's a good attempt, because we are talking about Joseph Magnus here. A good attempt at a Cigar Blend. Something that I'd be willing to pay for, as in my 2 or 3 or 4 different cigar blends that I have, is something that I would enjoy. Where this was good. I mean, as a double oak goes, this is good. But for about the same price, I can get that Pursuit United double oaked, which is better. So it's kind of like value to yourself. What do you value more? I would say a cigar blend, maybe a little different version of what I like, certainly a different version than the short barrel. But I think if I had to pick the two, or if I could only pick one, I'll say pick the two. I did pick the two. If I could only have one and I was allowed to taste them first, I would go with the cigar blend because that is different than anything else I have. So between the two, I think the Cigar Blend is the clear winner. Neither one is bad. Both of them are quite tasty. It's just a matter of what you're looking for. What do you already have? Cigar blends, good cigar blends are expensive and hard to come by. This might be a good start for you into cigar blends, and then you can work your way up from there. So we hope you will like this video, comment, and share. And tell me what you think if you've got either of these copper and casks or any other copper and casks. I think for the money, they're pretty damn good bourbon. Can you find better? Of course you can find better. But tonight, I'm happy with the Cigar Blend. So as always, please drink responsibly, never drink and drive. We'll see you next time.